Hello, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Abdullah, you there?
Hello, hello.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum
Alaikum
salam.
salam.
MashaAllah. So, gentlemen, can you turn on your cameras? I'll turn on mine as well. Can you connect my camera to it?
Yeah, about that, I'd love to, but currently it's not working for some reason. So in
No
the next
worries.
days, yeah, I'll get a new one.
MashaAllah, look at him in the Islamic gown. Nice kurta, very nice. Good color.
Yeah, appreciate
Yeah.
it.
So, give me 1 second, guys. We're going to go over some fun stuff today. I just need to get my camera. Give me 1 second. Where the fuck is it? So, are you guys familiar with my 25 laws on sales?
Sorry?
Camera. My camera. PGR. Where? 1 second, guys. Just trying to find my bloody camera. Oh, I got it. Wonderful. So, you guys can hear me, yes?
Uh, it's not that loud,
Can you
but
hear me
it
now? Is this
sounds,
better?
yeah, it's better.
Okay, okay. Are you guys familiar with my 25 laws on sales?
No, to be honest.
Abdullah, are you?
I think I've seen it at the beginning.
Wonderful. I'm glad you guys have gone through the resources that we have provided you with in order to maximize your success. So fundamentally, the 25 laws. So I am arguably a top level sales person, right? So when it comes to sales, I'm very good, alhamdulillah, right? And I looked at myself and others that I know who are as good as me or better than me, right? And I asked myself, why is it that we all do the same shit, but we do it differently? Yes. And I attempted to reverse engineer all of the things that we do in order to basically break it down. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Right. And then with that, finally, we have a webcam. Wonderful. So tell me if you guys can see me. Can you guys see me? Yes.
Yep.
Wonderful. With that, can you hear me? No. Yeah. You guys can hear me, yes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So with that, I was able to have my 25 laws. Now I'm just going to share my screen. We do not have time to go through all of them, but I'm going to just go over a few of the base ones that are just so you guys can understand. So 20. Oh, let's make this thinner. Make it black. Cool. Yeah. So 25 laws. Right. Now I've done all the maths. I've been training this for quite a while. Yes. This is what will allow you to close deals at a high level, right? And genuinely close deals because it's all about, I don't want to say, I'm going to use the word appearance, but I'm using that word loosely, right? When it comes to sales, there's three things that matter. You need to portray three traits, right? Before someone will purchase from you. You need to portray competence, conscientiousness, and IQ. Are you guys familiar with all three words, or do you want me to explain? Do you guys know what competence is?
Yeah, clear to me.
Knowing what you're doing.
Pardon, Mansoor?
Knowing what you're doing.
Yes. Do you know what conscientiousness is?
No, not really. My side.
So conscientiousness, an easy way to explain it, someone who is extremely high on conscientiousness, they will have a color-coded schedule. Everything will be done at this time in this order. All the notes and everything is filled in. So when you have very high levels of conscientiousness, all your shit gets done. Make sense? Someone who's got low level of conscientiousness will leave things last minute. They'll do this, but they won't read all the details. So you need to show conscientiousness, which is your ability to do all of the work that you say you're going to do. Competence, which is the ability to handle all of the work. And IQ, you're just above average intelligence. Yes? You portray these three things, people will purchase off of you. But now, how can we portray these things? What can we focus on? So we have the 25 laws. I have gone through this a lot, right? And you need 3 laws. You need to get very good at 3 of the 25 laws. Yes. And you will just close deals. You like 25 is way too much to focus on. For me, I have 8 that I lean into. Yes. There are 25. You pick 3. Right. There's one exception, which is intellectual bias. Intellectual bias, which is its own law. It's a very specific type of buyer, which you have to treat differently. And I'll get into that in a second. Now, one of the laws, which is very important when you're getting started, is convo versus checklist. Right? So when we're speaking to a prospect, let's say Mansour is my prospect, I need to know a lot of information about him to understand what his business is, correct?
Yeah.
Right? If I want to know to close you, I need to know who you are. So realistically, I'm going to ask up to 10 questions. Right? Now, these 10 questions need to be very important, very valuable. Many people underestimate the value or the effect that the questions are going to have. So I'm going to ask you questions such as, why are you on the call? Why are you on the call? Right? I'll ask another question. What have you tried? I'm going to go into detail with a few of these, right? So what have you tried past 6 months performance? Then let's say your targets. And then after this one, we're going to attach another question to that is results. Results from work, right? So we're going to just have these questions here, right? So the first one, I'll explain each question and what it means. And then we're going to go into convo versus checklist. So I'm going to ask Mansour, but which one of you two wants to be my dummy? Like I need a dummy for this one. Who wants to be it?
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay. So I'm going to ask Mansour, why are you on this call? Mansour, why am I asking you this?
Again, should I answer?
Yeah. Like, why would I ask you as a prospect, why are you on the call with me today?
Well, to know more details about your current situation and the problem.
No, I need intent. Right?
Yeah.
These 10 questions are the discovery questions. Right? Every single question here needs to allow me to facilitate the closing of the deal. This first question, Honorable Mansour, I need intent. You need to tell me that you need help, you're looking to grow, you're looking for more business. And I need to stay on here until I get that answer. You will end up with prospects who will say things to you, such as, oh, I liked your voice. I wanted to see what you have to offer. I'm curious to what you want to say. But we don't accept those answers. By the way, guys, I swear a lot. Yeah, like I know we're all Muslim here, like I swear a lot. I'm going to be swearing. Do you guys mind?
No, just
Yeah,
this too far after age swear.
Pardon?
Yeah, never mind.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So you like all those are bullshit. You need intent. The purpose of this call is you have a problem, I will fix it. Or I will propose how I will fix it. Intent is like I need that to kick off this call. Yes, because it will help me with the framing. Framing is very important. Next one. What have you tried? Yes. I am going to ask this. I'm not going to bully you guys with questions. I'm just going to do more of a teaching thing. What have you tried? I'm asking this so I know, are you lazy? Because if you haven't tried anything, I'm dealing with a lazy prospect. Are you stupid? right? Have you tried stuff and it just didn't work out, but it works out for other people? Do you blame systems or do you blame yourself? Because depending on how you answer it, that will tell me when a prospect says, oh yeah, I tried Google and Facebook and this and email, it doesn't work. Then I know, cool, I'm dealing with someone very ignorant and this is going to be a difficult call for me. But then it tells me what angle I need to go down. Yes? And let's imagine we're pushing Google ads, right? And then I find out that they're doing Google ads. So what did they try? They're doing Google ads. I'm like, okay, cool. Maybe I need to offer something else, or maybe I need to offer them Google ads. It's better than what they currently are doing, right? But then only by asking that question will I know what I'm working with. Yes, I know all the hidden shadows, we'll say, right? Now, after this question, I'm going to ask them, now, what results have you been able to achieve? So you've told me you've done 4 things in the past 1 year, right? From these 4 things, where did the most business come from? Can you just break down what brought you the most money, what brought you the least money, and how that looks like? Yes. So they have 4 different methods, A, B, C, D. I need to ask this, so I need to figure out, are they tracking what they're doing? Which is one sign of their competence. Do they actually track the results that they're getting and where they're putting their money, right? Are they burning money for the sake of burning money? Are they not spending any money at all, right? Or what I said previously, are they doing Google when I'm offering Google? Yes. And are they getting good results from that? And if they're getting good results from that, all of a sudden, they now offer Facebook. I don't do Google, I do Facebook. Yes. So I'm able to deviate from that question, right? Now, past 6 months performance. Over here, I need to have an understanding of what their business looks like. How often do they close deals? Yes. So past 6 months, they're going to tell me I made, let's just say 60K in the past 6 months. I was like, okay, perfect. Let's go just break into that. How many clients is 60K? Or what's the average price per customer? Right? They tell me it's 3K. Okay, cool. So in the past 6 months, you've got about 20 customers, right? They'll say yes, give or take. And I'll say, okay, perfect. How many leads did you speak to that allowed you to achieve those 20 customers? So how many people said no and yes in totality for you to get 20 customers? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Right? They're going to tell me 100. Yes. Or they're going to tell me, which is a problem, 30. Right? I'll explain why this is the problem. If they were to say 100, cool. I know that these fuckers have a 20% closing rate. If they say 30, or worst case, if they say 20, if they are closing at, let's say, 80 to 100%, we've got a problem on our hands. That may surprise you guys.
Less than 20?
No, let's imagine they close every deal that comes their way. Is that a good thing for us or a bad thing?
Yeah.
Bad thing.
Right. Abdullah, you say bad. Mansour, what do you say?
Yeah, good thing.
No, it's a bad thing.
For them, right? They are closing every deal.
No. Let's say they close 100%. Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Of course, it's a bad thing for us
Why?
because we want them to work with us and everything is
No. That's fine. Look, if I have 100% close rate, I still want more money. I'm not allergic to money. Yes. Abdullah, why do you think this is a bad thing?
Because of the, like it depends what service do we serve.
No. What this tells me, and you'll get this, right, is their business is referrals, which isn't good for us, right? The reason for this is because their expectation is through the roof. Mansour, let's imagine you need your car fixed and you have an uncle who you trust. You trust your uncle 100% and he recommends a mechanic. Are you going to use that mechanic?
Of course not.
So your uncle, you trust him. Your car
Yeah.
is fucked. He tells you, go to this mechanic. Will you trust him?
Yeah, sure.
There we go. So what that means is the mechanic did nothing to close the deal. He did not develop sales. He did not build up relationships. Because with the referral, he got the deal closed. Make sense?
Yeah.
So these types of prospects are only used to referrals. Yes, which means when we send cold, right, they're not familiar of warming up prospects, following up, building rapport, and closing the deal. Does that make sense?
That's
Yep.
mean that they are spoiled.
Yes. Like, honestly, yes. Like, it's
Yeah.
good for them, they're getting referrals. What it means is that their business is good, they know what they're doing. But what it also means is they are not familiar with selling and don't like selling because it's uncomfortable. If I can make money a comfortable way, why am I going to do an uncomfortable way to do it?
Yeah, makes
Right?
sense.
So that there brings us a problem, right? But then also, if we figure out their close rate, let's say they deal with cold leads, then we know roughly how much money we can bring them. If I send them 100 leads that aren't terrible, they'll close 20%. Now, the first point to look at here is value, right? How much value am I getting from all of these questions? You need to make sure that not a single question that you ask is bullshit. Now, we provide you guys with discovery questions. So you have access to the discovery questions for your niche. You need to understand, what am I getting from this question and how much can I pull from it? Right? Now, Mansoor, let's say you're a business owner. If I
Yeah.
ask you 10 questions and all of them are really fucking good questions, where it's all about understanding you, your business, and every dynamic of your business, you'll look at me and think, this guy's asking good questions. This is good stuff,
Then
right?
yeah. Then you're serious in helping me.
Yes. Yes, because I'm trying to find out things that impact your business. Many
Yeah.
times, people on a call, they'll forget what the fuck they need to ask. They'll say, and just ask anything that comes, like anything, like pointless questions that provide literally no value, right? And what that does is, when we're looking at competence, you do that minus 2 points. For every stupid question you ask, minus 2 points. Make sense?
Yeah.
Abdullah, does this make sense?
Yeah, it does.
But now, this isn't the law. This is just base. This is just base requirements. The law is convo versus checklist. You need to understand all of this. You have to study your questions. You have to study what you're getting from this so that you can put it into a conversation. I need to understand that I need these 10 points, right? I have 10. I'm not going to bother to do 10, right? I've got 10 different points here that I need to pull from my customer, right? Or my prospect. And I need to have a genuine conversation. And through my conversation, I need to tick all my boxes, right? This is to do with competence again, right? Because if I'm reading off a list of questions, yes, I look like a sales rep and not a good sales rep, right?
Yeah.
I need to understand what I'm getting, yes, so that I can get it correctly, right? I'll give it. I apologize. I also often use women examples. Yes, I have shame with the Muslims, but I'm going to use women examples, right? Let's say that you've got Sister Fatima, right? And you're there, her father's there, all right? And you've brought a list of questions that you have for her, and you're just, Sister Fatima, and you're just asking everything, just from a list. Are you going to come across as an interesting person?
No.
No.
Right? A smart person will say, I have 10 points I need to get out of Sister Fatima. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a nice conversation, nice convo. We're going to start here, and I'm going to take this way, this way, this way, this way. I'm just going to lead the whole conversation to the end point. And as I'm having the conversation, I tick a box here. I tick a box there. I tick a box there, tick a box there, tick a box there. Does this make sense?
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
all about the human interactions.
Yes, but the only way to do this is to fully understand, what do I want? What am I trying to get out of this? What
You
are the
have to be
value
genuine.
points? No, but you need to know what you're aiming for.
Yeah.
right? Yeah, you have to aim, but what are you aiming for? As an example, right? I can go to these questions here, right? I just put a few of these questions. Each one of this, I can go deep on what I'm getting, right? I can ask one question and get 30 fucking points from it. Yes. Ask the next question, get 30 points from it. Whether it's listening to what they're saying, getting a better understanding of the business, getting a better understanding of them, knowing when they're lying, because people love to lie, right? Doing all of this is what's going to allow you to close deals. But in order to do this, you have to look at it from two ways. And the next law I'm going to explain to you guys, you're not going to like in the beginning, then you're going to like it afterwards, right? It's, I need to care about my prospect and listen in order to manipulate and then close.
Yeah.
Now, do you guys have any issues with manipulate?
Well,
When you deliver a good service, there is no problem with it.
Wonderful. Sounds like a businessman. Matur.
it's part of our life. It's something daily. For example, the doctor manipulate the small child in order to give him the treatment. So it's something usual.
There we go. But you have to be conscious about what
Yeah.
you're doing. It's a really odd cycle of like, you have to be bad in order to be good.
Yeah.
Right? Because I'm asking all of these questions, knowing that all of them have a lot more deeper meaning than what I'm allowing to show. Yes? I'm going to give the reverse example, right? This is something, neither one of you guys are married, right?
Not yet.
Mansoor, you married?
No.
Wonderful. My advice will help you guys a lot. Yes? I'm going to use it in the terms of women. Yes? There's one thing that women do, and I know all of this because my sisters. Yes? One thing that women do is they will ask one question, right? This question is a bullshit question. It's gas in the air. It's a lie. This question is to get an answer to the question over here, right? This is a hidden question. One example of this, like very simple example, a girl can, or a sister can ask you, do you like Andrew Tate? Right? Now, let's look at this. So we have Andrew Tate.
Yeah.
Right? If you answer yes, you're thinking, I'm just asking a question about Andrew Tate. She's just interested to know if I like his cars. Yes? What she is now trying to find out, and you didn't bloody realize it because you were pillic, yes, is she has now said sexist, misogynistic, arrogant, self-centered, doesn't care. No, you laugh, but this is the truth, right?
Yeah.
There'll be many
Well,
times where you'll be asked questions that are bullshit questions. I've had this before when I'm at a proposal with a woman. Yes,
Really?
she'll ask me a question, and I'll be like, "Why are you lying to me? What are you trying to do? Like, I know what you're asking me without asking me it. Why don't you just ask me the correct question?" Yes, women are very good at this, right?
Yeah.
And it's simply asking a question to find out the answer of another question. Right? I'll give a good example. Yes. This was my ex-wife actually. Right. So we got a divorce. So she thought I was going clubbing because I was working too much. Right. She wasn't in the country. She thought I was clubbing. And I had explained this to one of my ex-business associates. Me and him are still on very good terms. And I was teaching him this. I was like, look, you have to understand this about women. Da, 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 da. And then he was kind of confused. Right. He comes back to me later. Ishmael, you're so right. And I'm like, of course I'm right. What was I right about this time? Yes. He said, your ex-wife was speaking to me. And she asked me, so what are the clubs like in Dubai? Yes. And something clicked in my head. She didn't care about the clubs in fucking Dubai. She did not care about that. Now, why did she ask him the question?
To find out whether he goes, so mostly you would be going.
There we go. Now, luckily, obviously, I didn't go to the clubs, but I was able to explain this to him. Yes, she asked about the clubs, right? All to know if he went to the clubs, because if he went to the clubs, my ass definitely went with him to the clubs. Him being a smart man, he said no. Yes, it's all about the hidden questions, which is what we're doing here. We're trying to pull as much knowledge and as much information from one simple question. And the better you get at this, your life will become a lot easier with everything. Yes. And that's manipulate, right? But now we go with on the note of manipulation. Opa. Right. On the note of manipulation, we move into the next one, which is negative rapport, right? Now, just before we move on to negative rapport, do you guys see how I see sales? Are you guys getting an idea of it?
Yeah.
Right? Are you guys familiar with this type of sales?
Kind of, yeah. But
Yeah.
it's not written, like just experience.
But this kind of understanding is new to me, to be honest.
That's fine, right? It's literally, you study this, you apply it to real life,
Mm.
your life will get better,
Yeah.
yes, and like sales will become easy, right? Because as I said previously, and all of this is related to competence, conscientiousness, and IQ, right? And we'll go over IQ as well, because there's a really simple tip to just smash IQ. And I need to go over another one, which is niche knowledge. This is very important for both of you because you have wonderful Arab accents. So you need to know this law. Like this law, out of any of them, is your priority, right? Because like different laws, but like some are very good for some people, less good for other people. This you guys need this one, right? So negative rapport. We have 15 minutes, so I'm going to bust through all of these. Negative rapport is all about making your prospects cry. Now, do I mean that literally? Yes, I mean that literally. I have made multiple prospects cry on calls before they pay me. They will have a literal breakdown on the call, and I have facilitated it. I have guided them down the breakdown. Now, why would I do that?
Close.
That's one reason. Answer?
Like to move your prospect toward the close.
Same reason. Yes.
I do have another reason.
Yeah, give it to her.
Yeah, so they're too emotional and like they can
Yeah.
kind of feel something emotional, but between you and them that you understand
No,
their
no.
problem.
Yeah.
Close. Yes, yes.
You're switching off the logical part of them.
No, that one, no. Abdullah got close. Yes. I need my prospects to see that I see them for who they are. The lazy, degenerate piece of shit who did nothing in their fucking life, who didn't move the ball forward, who slept in, who watched pornography, who didn't care. I see them for the useless sack of shit that they see in the mirror. I see them, again, for who they are. And I will go down the rabbit hole. If it means I'm going to say, are you proud? Like, genuinely? I'm not going to say it in a bad way. I'm going to say it in a way that is confused. Like like I want to help you, but I need to know who you are. I need to know the truth behind you. You haven't hit your targets. You haven't done this. What's been happening? And I need them to unleash all of their problems to me. And they'll do it if my frame is correct. Because if someone's had a bad year, they want to be saved. They want someone to come there and fix their problems, to help them through their bullshit. Right? And by pushing pain, right, there's two driving forces for all human behavior. It's in the amygdala, right? So every action that you do is for one of two reasons. It is to go towards pleasure or go away from pain. Those are your two drivers. And pain is a lot more powerful than pleasure. There is a limit to how much you will pay in a mahram. No, is it called mahram?
No.
No,
Okay.
المهر
What
is
do
the
you
male.
mean?
No, no, مهر.
Mahar,
The
yeah.
dowry. Yeah, the dowry. Yes. There is a limit. No matter how beautiful and amazing she is, that there's a limit to how much you're going to pay. Correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mansour, correct?
Is it? What is it? I didn't really get it.
Abdullah, translate for me.
Yeah. يعني في
Like, I
حد
understand English, it's not clear to me.
في حد للمهر بتدفعه لو ان البنت احلى واحدة في الدنيا.
في أبيات شعرية عن الموضوع حتى. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
clear.
Yeah. There is a limit to how much you'll pay. Correct, Mansour?
Yeah, it's not there's limit, like you can pay whatever, like
Okay.
it's up to
Is
you.
there no bloody? Is there a limit that you will pay?
No,
So you would give all the money in your bank account if she asked.
no, for me, no, but in general,
Very-
there's a limit. Like
No,
you
no,
can,
no. I know there is no limit, but I'm
yeah,
asking you personally: is there a limit? Is there a line that you will be like, this is the line? Yes.
yeah, yeah, of course.
Okay. Wonderful. Another example: your mother has cancer. Is there a line of how much you're going to spend to get it fixed?
Never,
Yeah. Pain versus pleasure.
yeah,
Yes. You will go above and beyond for pain. Like there is no comparison between pain and pleasure. Yes. So we push pain because pain is a lot more powerful and it builds the frame and it allows your prospect to breathe. Finally breathe and be honest with somebody, not lie to the neighbors and the family and the dog on how things are going well and they're doing everything because you see them for who they are. And only because you see them for who they are, you can fix their problems. Because if I see the shit that you're in, there's a high chance I can fix the shit that you're in because I can see it and nobody else can. Right? So that's one of the reasons that we do it. And now the good thing is, so we load the amygdala with pain. So we're loading pain on pain on pain. Now, as soon as there is pain, the brain will go to solution mode. I need a solution. I don't like this pain. Yes. With
yeah,
that, we do the presentation afterwards. So once they're loaded up with pain, we provide them with a solution to their problems, which is the presentation. Yes. But the fact is, if you want to actually help somebody, you need to know what is their worst enemy, and their worst enemy is themselves. And they need to see that. And the second that a prospect says, I know I haven't done enough. Yes, you're amazing. Because all you have to say later, if they have objections, you said you haven't done enough. What's going to change? If it was going to change, you would have changed a while ago. And then you've got like super powerful for objection handling, right? We will go into negative report in more detail. It is a very powerful law, right? One guy I trained on this, he was doing one-to-one training with me. I trained this a lot into him, right? He was a parrot. He just parroted what I taught him. He got $40,000 within 3 months. In the beginning, he was very bad, but he made prospects cry. There was one lady, her husband just died. He said to her, like, so what happens if like you don't fix your problems? Like you don't have your husband to back you up. And he went like he pushed the pain of the death of the husband in order to like he went like all the prospects, he didn't give a shit. Now that
yeah,
lady, she fucked off in the call. She was crying too much. She said, I can't do it. We'll speak another time. They never spoke again. Yes. But because he pushed so much pain and he did not care, granted, he was like kind of like I would put him in the same camp as like a Hitler kind of person, just not a good human being who thinks they're better than everybody else. So he didn't care. So he went all the way, right? And because he went all the way, he was able to reap the rewards of the person who's willing to go the extra fucking mile and not care, right? He did anything to close deals, which is very good for him. But we'll go into this in more detail because this is very powerful. And most people don't do it because they don't have a backbone. They're too scared to hurt other people's feelings and they put their cowardice or cowardness ahead of actually helping people. Right? As an example, if your friend is being a retard because he's going through shit and he's making dumb decisions, you can either sit there quietly saying, yeah, or you can risk offending your friend and actually taking care of your friend. You guys get my point?
Yeah, yeah. I've actually done this before to one of my friends. Kind
There we
of.
go.
Yeah.
No pain, no gain.
Oh, but you don't know how much like I I have depressed people. Like, this one guy messaged me after the call. It was my favorite close. He said to me, you were is either one of or the worst. I think it was the worst, yes. You are the worst human I've ever met in my life. Can I pay you via cryptocurrency? And I said, yes, the fuck you bad. Right? The amount of pain like I've pushed on calls is outrageous. Like not helping. But it works very well. Next thing, this is what you guys need. On the basis that you are targeting any Western country, you need this en masse. Oh, fucking zoomed out way too much. Right? You need this en masse. You see, you guys have accents, correct?
Have
That's just
what?
one.
You Arab accent. You guys have Arab accent.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Strong one, personally.
Yes. Yes. Both of you have strong accents. Now, what does an accent do? An accent tells people that you are not familiar, that you are foreign. Listen, they're not familiar to you, you are foreign. So the likelihood of you knowing how everything, like they're just going to doubt that you know stuff. They're just a fact. Right? People discriminate. Hakuna Matata. The Arabs also discriminate wonderfully. I'm very familiar with tribalism with the Arabs. Yes, it's natural, it's human. But now, how do we counter this? Right? So let's imagine I'm Arab. I'm speaking to fucking Barbara. I'm trying to play with Barbara. She lives in North Carolina. Yeah, she doesn't trust me because of my accent. But now she doesn't trust that I know what I'm talking about and that I can do the job. So all I need to know is market trends in North Carolina. And throughout the whole call, I need to be talking to her about the market trends in North Carolina. I need to reference the facts that I know. I need to show her that I know the market better than she does. And I need to say to her, my clients have seen an increase of 30% because of A, B, C, D. Right? You then reference on how the market's taken a hit from this period. Now, all of this depends on the niche that you're in, right? But the more facts that you bring up, the more you will fight the accent. And it's to the point that nobody can say anything to you or about you. Because if in one call you've brought up 15 facts that only somebody in the industry will know, can they doubt that you know what you're doing?
Not at all.
This will be your guys' best strength, right? And all you have to do, it's the easiest thing to do. All you have to do is niche research. Sorry, what niche are you in?
Again,
What niche are you in?
real estate.
Cool. So all I have to do is hop into a call, take some notes, put the notes on a piece of paper next to me, and make sure that she doesn't see me speak my notes. All right. So, look, based on what we've seen, right now, as it stands, Samantha, we've got 8,231 new listings in the past year. Right. There's been a little bit of a dip, but honestly, we haven't noticed it based on the amount of calls that we're having with all the leads that we're generating. There's more than enough sellers. Right. Then you bring up another fact. Where is the is this real? No, I don't want Redfin. I want realty. Yeah, there we go. Let's go. All right. It's much easier to read these ones here. So the facts. Oh, come on, come on. The trends and yeah, I think I picked a bad location. Okay, let's go here. Here we go. Right, so different location, right? just by going on this page, yes, I am able to use on a call the median listing price, right? The median sale price. I'm able to tell my prospect the trends over the past year, right? I can tell her if it's a buyer's or seller's market or if it's balanced, and then I can speak about that. I can look at the review over the past 3 years, 2 years, 1 year. Super easy notes that you write down on a piece of paper. And then I can say, funny enough, we've had a lot of prospects, we've had a lot of leads call up, uh, and the families are specifically asking about this place, just name this fucking school, and Barbara other school. Right now, granted, I would pick the ones with reviews. Yes. Now, the only reason I would know that these fucking schools exist is if I'm familiar with the market, if we've had leads in that market, right? And then I'll use other points. Something else that I like to do is neighborhoods, right? So I will speak to them about the difference in the neighborhood. So typically, what areas are you working with? Because obviously there's a difference. Now, look, if we're looking at working in the grasslands, we have listing prices at 807, right? But then when we go to the Permian estates, it's all the way down to 190, right? So typically, what are you more familiar with? Now, obviously, I know that you can work on all of it, but best with your previous listings, what kind of neighborhoods are you working in, right? So I've then also been able to list two different sides of the neighborhoods that they work in their county, in their state, so on and so forth. Right now, depending on like the state size would dictate if it's like a city or state, right? Tell me this, guys. Once I've dropped all this knowledge, not at one time, but throughout the whole call, is there any reason for the prospect to doubt my competence?
No, never, to be honest.
Abdullah?
No, you know what you're talking about. You can reach like through him, and
Yes. But then all I've done is gone on a bloody website, got the data, and told them the data. I've articulated it correctly. Done.
Yeah.
Yes. And then all of a sudden, the accent is not a problem. Because compared to every other marketing agency do you think any other marketing agency is telling them all these facts on the call? Abdullah?
no,
There we go. So while you may be Arab men, you sound like very successful Arab men who know what they're doing. Right. And if I'm going to put my money to a marketing agency, I'm going to put my money to the marketing agency that is telling me about the schools, about the differences in the neighborhoods, about the differences in the market. Right. And it's speaking it confidently. And then we come on to the last point, and I've got 1 more minute. IQ. Now, you both know what IQ is, right?
Yeah.
Impossible to measure in a conversation, but people are stupid, so they think they can. There is one way to bypass this. It's one of the laws: vocabulary. Vocabulary. I have a cool term for it: vocab. Study big words. Use big words. Stupid people think you smart. Don't know why. If you use words appropriately that people are unfamiliar with, but they can like put together a word based on the context, they will automatically think you are intelligent. Why? Because the average person is very stupid. Yes.
Yeah.
Vocab will make the biggest difference to life. Like just improve your. Oh, I'm not sharing my screen. I don't need to know. You guys saw this data here. Sorry, you saw this over here when I was showing you this, right?
yeah, we've seen it.
Yeah, cool. Vocabulary is going to be one of your best friends. The more complex your vocabulary, whatever language you're doing sales in, it will make the biggest difference to how people see you. Right? Articulation is also key. Slap in some niche knowledge, be comfortable making your prospect feel like a useless piece of shit, and have solid discovery. Tell me, what else is missing on a call?
Yeah.
But would you guys say that there's anything missing that you need to do?
No,
Right? But then it comes to my final point over here, right? I have shown you, let's see, I have shown you 1, 2, 3. I've shown you 4 laws. Yes, I have 25. There are 25 laws. And I said in the beginning, all you need is 3. Right? So from the laws that you guys have access to, right? I need you guys to study the laws and fully understand what's being said. You need to pick any 3 except for intellectual bias and just get very good at those 3 laws and you will close deals. Right? You can combine any 3 laws and you push those laws on a sales call, you will close deals. Guys, did you enjoy the session?
Very
Yeah.
much.
Yeah, very, very interesting.
Okay, cool. Then we're gonna do this more often. Are you guys booked in for tomorrow?
Yeah.
Yeah, I will.
Alhamdulillah.
Yeah, I'm gonna book. No,
Okay. Then I'll see you guys tomorrow, yeah?
inshallah.
Oh, sure.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam.
Maybe.